All right, guys, we are back, just about to get underway. There's the start button hit, and we are on into the champion picks and ban phase. Legendary Threats versus DreamHack Gaming. DreamHack, unfortunately, was not able to get their fifth on, so we are going to be playing a 4 versus 5, as we have seen multiple times already. We've actually seen it twice just last week. We had one go in favor of the team with 5, but we did also see the team with 4 pick up a victory in one of our games as well. So you can never count out a team with just because they have 4 players. A lot of it is going to depend on what kind of champions they pick, how they decide to play the game, and obviously the skill level as well. If they are just going to be completely superior to their opponents, they can just run over them. I don't think it's going to be a complete dominance, but I do feel like DreamHack has a chance of coming out on top in this one. We will have to see. Because of the delay, DreamHack did lose 2 of their bans, so they only have 1 going forward, as we are going to see LeBlanc and Ari banned away on the side of Legendary Threats. And obviously DreamHack, with only getting 1 ban, does have to skip their first 2 here. Or they could have skipped their first and the third, or their second 2. They can do it in any order they want, but
by doing that,
only
though,
get
they would actually give
1.
away who they want, though.
So LeBlanc and Ari off the board, trying to just ban out those mid lane champions from the side of DreamHack. Of course, DreamHack is sporting an entirely new roster, as their previous team had actually technically disbanded, and they threw a new one together. So it's going to be a little bit hectic, little chaotic, but should be a lot of fun. So Annie going to be the 3rd ban here, and so all 3 champions target on those AP majors. Then finally Sejuani being the lone ban for the side of DreamHack.
It's going to be really interesting to see how these players play together. Obviously, this is a new roster coming out of DreamHack, despite the fact that they are missing 1. The one they were trying to get in touch with was big ol' Ron, who was formerly of TSM Darkness, same as Arc Second. But it's going to be interesting to see how they play out this 4v5. If they can manage to pull it out, it'll definitely be making them the favorites going into Virginia.
Yeah, like I said, we had one last week, or earlier in the week, I should say, where the 4 managed to defeat the 5, but that was another game, another team. It was Warriors Anonymous that had actually picked that one up. But the thing is, with having an entirely new roster here for DreamHack, we don't really know too much of what to expect. Like, we don't know how their playstyle is going to be. With Warriors Anonymous, we knew that they were going to be hyper aggressive and just really trying to dominate and destroy the early game, which is what you need to do in a 4 versus 5. It just take advantage of the fact that you're going to have slightly better experience in one of your lanes, and just try and snowball that early game. Don't let that numbers game catch up to you. And so we'll have to see if DreamHack can do the same thing. Right now, building a Hecarim and a Gragas, that's definitely 2 champions that can snowball really heavily out of the early game.
I'd say the fact that they opted to get the Gragas and Sejuani was taken away and Vi was picked, it's a good thing that they picked it now instead of going for another one of the picks that they maybe wanted to hold on to for a while. But the Diamond getting Hecarim, that's relatively big in my opinion, simply due to the fact that Hecarim Gragas is a very good combination, provides a lot of engage and a lot of disengage all at the same time. So it's going to be interesting to see how that Hecarim Gragas plays out once team fights do start rolling around. Remember, guys, this is a 4v5, so they are going to be missing 1 source of damage or CC, but hopefully they can actually work their way around the champions that they pick.
The other thing that we'll have to see, I believe we can tell what they're leaning towards right now, but you always have to wonder how a team is going to strategize it, if they're going to go with the 3 solo laners down a jungle, or if you just forgo the jungle and stick with a duo lane in the bottom. Right now it's looking like they're going to be going for the 3 solo lanes in a jungle, just because of the Gragas and Hecarim pickup, but you never know. I mean, you could just send Gragas in a solo lane and Hecarim in a solo lane as well. With Caitlyn coming through here, you definitely do need that 80 carry source of damage still. but we'll have to see. It does look like it is going to be a Zig, so very likely, as I mentioned, the 3 solo lanes just going to be forcing Caitlyn to go without a support. The thing that could be tough there, though, is the fact that with Leona already picked on the side of Legendary Threats, Leona is such an engage-heavy support that in a 2-on-1 situation, if Leona can get those engagements onto the soloed out AD carry on the side of DreamHack, it could end up turning that lane into a really poor situation. But Corki is a pretty solid choice for this. He doesn't have the best auto attack range, but he can keep himself safe with that Valkyrie. And of course, once he hits 6, just poke as much as he can with the ultimates. Try and just stay out of range. Speaking of range, if that Xerath comes through, that's going to be a lot of range on the side of Legendary Threats. The thing is, I feel like there's not only is there a certain strategy that you want to come up with when you're playing as the team that's down a player, you also have to kind of tweak your strategy for when you're playing up a player as well. I mean, because when it's a 5 versus 5, you can kind of predict how a team is going to play a lot better. When it's a 4 versus 5, you don't know for sure how that team with 4 players is going to play. Like their strategy is going to be a lot different than if it was a 5-on-5. Like they are going to be, as I mentioned, probably a lot more aggressive, looking to be a lot more strategic and with their moves and just trying to, again, win that early game, win that mid game so that you don't get to a late game and that 5th player doesn't become a huge difference. So you do have to kind of play your team comp a little bit around that and focus on not making sure that they don't have the ability to do what they're going to be trying to do.
I would say that the picks coming out of DreamHack here are relatively safe picks. Corki obviously having the Valkyrie, being able to get away from any potential engager since he is going to be alone in that bot lane. And it's really just going to depend on Diamond and Arcsec and getting ahead. If they manage to get ahead and push these really early skirmishes and win, then going towards the late game, it's going to be hard for Millennium on that Xerath and Kalento on the Gnar to really have much of an impact, simply due to the fact that both of those champions have a relatively high scaling and high snowball potential, but if they don't get it, they tend to fall behind really hard. Threat God would also be one of the ones that they would probably target if they do manage to win in the laning phase and ignore Millennium Kalento, focusing out the Lucian, focusing out Yalahal on the Vi, making sure that those 2 champions are out, and then focus on taking down the 2 laners that were set really far behind.
Yeah, the other thing that I like about the DreamHack picks here is that they have a ton of wave clear. So even if Legendary Threats decides, all right, you know what, we're going to try and abuse the numbers advantage by sending 4 people mid and split pushing with 1 or just trying to siege up a tower, with the Ziggs and Corki and Gragas, they have the ability to just clear out those lanes as they come in and not give them a chance to try and siege up the tower. So I definitely like the picks that DreamHack has chosen for the 4v5, but it is still going to be a 4 versus 5. It is still very difficult to win a 4 versus 5 because you are just missing so much. I mean, you look at, even if you say they're missing the support for, compared to a Leona, that's so many forms of CC that you just do not have on your team that the other team gets. So it's so tough to just outlast and outplay a team when you are down a player. But DreamHack going to be giving it their best shot, trying to secure their spot at the top of the standings for Division A and trying to secure their spot at the in the semifinals to be played at LEC Squared.
I mean, 4v5s aren't impossible to win.
Oh, not at all.
It's really just a matter of who gets ahead and who doesn't. I actually played a 4v5 game earlier today. I was Scion, and we had a Tryndamere. Basically, all I had to do was be the massive brick meat shield style wall that Scion is and prevent the enemy 5 team, while Tryndamere was just like, hi, I'm going to be Tryndamere. Slap, slap, slap. Nexus dead.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not an impossible situation. It is still difficult, but it's not impossible. So we are going to be seeing. We have just a few seconds till we get on over to our loading screen. At which point we will be getting into the game, which is what everyone's here to see.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday!
Yay! Black screens while we wait for the loading screen to appear. Woo!
Woo!
Loading screen will appear at any moment now, I promise. There we go. Oh, nope, not quite. It switched over, but it still hasn't shown up. It'll get there eventually. There we go. Oh, right. The overlay doesn't work because there's only 4. So on the side of Legendary Threats, we have Yalahal on Neon Strike Vi, Kalento with the classic Gnar, Valkyrie Leona for Alteresh, Threat God is not connected, and Guardian of the Sand Zareth, that new skin on Millennium.
And on the side of DreamHack, we have Diamond on Headless Hecarim in the top lane, Denial Boy as Gragas, no skin Gragas in the jungle. Arc second as Mad Scientist Ziggs in the mid lane, and LMQ Trance on Dragon Wing Corki as the AD carry.
And it is going to be Lucian Prime for Threat God, the skin of choice.
Lucian Prime, I think that's the yellow one, right? Because that's the
It's the Chroma Pack. Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah, Chroma Pack.
I'm not sure. I don't know if it actually that would be cool if it actually changed the splash art, but unfortunately
that would be cool.
Unfortunately,
but that would require
it does
a
not.
lot more effort.
Not really. Just a simple color replacement. But either way, we are now in game.
Not yet.
Oh, yep, not quite yet.
Somehow. Oh, wait, never mind. I know why.
There we go.
Oh, it's the blue one.
Okay, it's the blue one.
Lucian.
That is a really strong blue. I'd say, it's a really bright and vivid blue. But we are going to be.
Has to stand out.
I mean, it does. It looks sharp. I do really like the Guardian of the Sand Zareth, looking like the icon from the Ascension game mode.
Because it should.
Well, yeah.
Considering Xerath and Azir do have a history.
That's why I'm saying it looks good, because they did a good job with it. Jeez. People these days. But we are going to be seeing both teams getting their vision out, playing safe on the side of DreamHack. Legendary Threats being a little bit more aggressive with their movements.
I mean, they're trying to push a really early advantage since it is a 4v5, so not the wrong choice here. Oh.
Trance going on a suicide mission.
Executed.
I think he just thought maybe he was too far in and wasn't going to be able to make his way on out without being caught. Or it was all just a clever distraction tactic for Hecarim to try and get into the deep jungle up top. But he is going to get spotted by the ward. So they do know that he's up there.
Minions have spawned.
They indeed found the pony.
Temporarily, as he retreats back to his jungle. Hecarim going to be starting off with those Raptors, while Gragas and Vi both start on the bottom half of their jungles.
I anticipate that we're going to see Vi ganking top quite often, simply due to the fact that Gnar does provide a decent amount of CC against Hecarim, unlike most champions that tend to lane against him, so might see quite a bit of attention there, whereas Denial Boy on that Gragas probably will pay more attention to the bot lane, trying to make sure that Corki stays safe.
Yeah, and the other thing is Vi isn't going to have to put that much attention onto Corki, as we are seeing actually Trance and Denial Boy duoing the jungle a bit, just to make sure that Corki's able to stay safe while still getting some early experience. Yeah, so basically, treating it just like a regular lane swap in the LCS, as if Corki was a top laner and there was a lane swap going on. So, nice strategy. It's going to, again, allow Corki to just get some farm and get some golden experience under his belt without the risk of dying to the duo lane of Leona and Lucian.
Oh, Kalento and Diamond actually a little bit of a back and forth up here every now and again. Diamond, I would say, has the better one-on-one lane matchup though. As you can see, the amount of damage that can just come out of him from the charge, as well as 1Q, is just a little much for Gnar to deal with, even in Mega Gnar form. Had he done it when he was in Mini Gnar, it probably would have done a ridiculous amount of damage. In the bot lane, we see Threat God and Trans dueling quite a bit. Denial Boy and Yalahal, they're going to be fighting out in the jungle. He might be able to get away. He is going to belly slam towards his tower. He's not even going to have to use his flash. He did also secure his own red buff, so Vi tried to steal that away, was not successful. In the bot lane, we see Trance getting stunned up by Leona there. Threat God not close enough to get any extra damage out, though.
Yeah, the thing is, though, by forcing that Valkyrie, it is so much of Corki's mana bar to use that Valkyrie. But in the mid lane, it is actually going to be Ziggs just missing that bouncing bomb, as that would have put Millennium in a pretty poor situation if it had connected. And there you see now Diamond going in onto Kalento once again.
There goes
so
the charge. There goes the ignite.
charge.
One more Q. No, he's actually not going to be able to get the kill onto Kalento. However, that is a flash burn from the Gnar. Nice little advantage there for Hecarim in the top lane.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Lucian is going to be pretty far ahead of Corki for quite some time. It's going to be so difficult for Trance to get that CS up because of the fact that he's dealing with a 2-on-1 lane, which is never a fun situation to be in as an AD carry. I mean, you see so much focus in the professional play with lane swaps is put on trying to get your AD carry an advantageous situation to be in. You know, getting your AD carry either a 2v1 or a lane all to themselves, and that's the exact opposite of what Trance has. There's a lot of damage going down onto both Millennium and Kalento. Kalento going to be going back to base. Millennium should be doing so soon, because he's got to be wary of the Ziggs landing too much more damage onto him.
I imagine once Ziggs hits level 6, we're going to see a definite engage coming out of Denial Boy and Arc Second there.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they actually let Threat God and Trance stay alone here in the bot lane, I would say Trance has a slight advantage simply due to Corki having a nice amount of shred to his abilities. Threat God taking extremely low here. There's the Phosphorus Bomb. Oh, and the Zenith Blade misses. And had that landed, that actually could have been a kill. And Corki's just gonna Valkyrie away to safety there to his tower. Threat God and Trance almost a 1-for-1 there.
Yeah, however, Threat God did burn his heal. Trance still had his up. So that was actually going in favor of Trance in the straight 1v1. Like you said, Corki just having the slight advantage in an outright one-on-one. He also has that second Dorn's Blade. So in the one-on-one situation, he does have slightly more damage and lifesteal. But up top, there goes the ultimate coming out of Hecarim onto the Gnar.
And Denial Boy as well. There's the belly slam. Kalento going to be trying to hop over them, and he's going to go down to the charge from Hecarim. That's going to be first blood going over to him. And in the bot lane, Trance singling out Threat God there and getting the kill. Alteresh not able to get the return kill onto Trance. He's extremely low though. Oh, and there's Millennium in the backside. There's the Zenith Blade missing as well. Trance is sitting really safe right now. Pretty sure he's happy with that little outcome there.
Although Xerath is level 6, so they could easily just go in on this. The Q does miss again, taking a tower shot. Here comes the teleport from Diamond just to offer some support to Trance. Oh, and Arc Second has made his way down as well. That's a lot of damage going down onto Millennium.
On there. Arc Second going to be singled out by Yellowhall. There's Flash Burn by Millennium to get over the wall, escaping Diamond. Arc Second going to be taken extremely low here. He should be fine though. And here's Denial Boy. He's going to be finding Millennium. Is he going to be able to get the kill though? He didn't quite land the bomb. He didn't quite land the belly slam either. He does find Yellowhall though. Throws out the bomb as well, and there's Yellow going down. Double kill going over to Arc Second with the bouncing bomb. Threat God trying to get the return kill here onto Denial Boy. Millennium is level 6. He's trying to get the kill, and that's going to be Denial Boy on that Gragas going down to the Xerath ultimate. Threat God and Millennium sitting pretty happy there in the mid lane, going to be pushing it out a little bit before backing off themselves. But Trance did get a lot of solo lane farm in there in the bot lane. So that's exactly what Legendary Threats did not want to give him, considering it is the 4v5.
And not only that, but Arc Second picking up 2 kills is going to put him pretty far ahead as well. Great job there by DreamHack, and it's very similar to what we saw from Warriors Anonymous when they were in the 4 vs 5 situation, just teleporting down just to back up your AD carry and turn a fight that looks like it's going to be heavily against you into your favor. And so great job there from Diamond and
Ooh, Diamond and Kalento trading in that top lane. Diamond doing a nice amount of damage. He's going to go in with the Onslaught of Shadows. The Ignite is sticking onto Kalento. He is going to be going down. Diamond picking up another kill there in the top lane.
Yeah, so like I said, it was Diamond and Denial Boy, both, and actually Arc Second as well, realizing that everyone was trying to collapse onto Trance, but they took too long to go for it from Legendary Threats. It gave them all time to get down there and turn that fight into their favor. I'm really surprised that Millennium didn't just pop his ultimate much earlier while Corki was low underneath the tower, but instead they waited it out and got caught because of it and gave more kills over to the side of DreamHack. DreamHack playing this exactly the way you need to be when you are down a player.
I would say the fact that Trance has been able to sit pretty safe here in the bot lane is huge for DreamHack.
Absolutely.
Simply due to the fact that Corki does scale very well towards the mid game, and his early game is where he sort of struggles simply due to his low range. But he managed to get around that. Denial Boy coming in for the gank. He lands the belly slam onto Alterash. He throws out the barrel, but it doesn't quite do enough. And he's just going to be forced to back off, eating quite a bit of damage there, taken down to about half HP.
Threading the needle with that rocket is Trance. As they are just going to be playing it safe down there. Again, Trance his job is to just stay alive so that he can provide damage from the back of fights. Just watch his positioning and stay safe and just get farm, get your items, get that Trinity Force, and provide support damage. Like he's not going to be the main primary damage dealer of this team. That is going to be the Hecarim and the Ziggs, but his damage from the backside is going to be so important as the game goes on.
So Mega Narc form about to be up. Is he gonna actually opt to go in on the Diamond? Doesn't look like that's gonna be the case. One thing I don't really... Oh, and there's Yalahal going in with the ultimate from Vi. Arcsec is gonna be trying to get the return kill onto Millennium though, but 3 members focusing so much onto Arcsec in there. He's gonna be going down to Yalahal. No return kill on the side of DreamHack though.
Yeah, but like we were talking about earlier, they put so much into that kill in mid lane.
Oh, and in the bot lane, Red God and Trance go duel it out. That's going to be the phosphorus bomb thrown out. There's the piercing light. Is Threat God going to be going down Trance? He is going to get the kill with the Valkyrie of all things. And Kalento in the top lane going to be eating a charge from Diamond. He's just going to be eating quite a bit of damage and forced to back off. Trance, nice duel there. He managed to just barely survive.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about earlier. You know, they put so much into getting that kill on mid that you're letting Corki and Trance on this Corki 1v1 Lucian.
Oh, and there's the
boy.
Onslaught of Shadows going out onto Kalento. Nice flash, avoiding the explosive cast from Gragas. And that's going to be Kalento getting out alive.
Yeah, extremely important flash used there, Kalento. Otherwise, he would have very easily been getting picked up if he hadn't gotten away from that. But back to that bottom lane, Trance... Again, out-dueling the Lucian. He's going to be able to do that pretty consistently, except, although actually may not be anymore, as Lucian started with the Brutalizer, did just go get a pickaxe. Corki, with that last back, only picked up some wards. He didn't actually get any items for himself, other than what he already had. So Lucian is going to be coming back to this lane a bit stronger, while Corki is going to be approximately the same, dealing the same amount of damage. And
honestly,
with how
Corki's
close that last trade was,
avoid the humongous engages that Legendary Threats do have. They have the Vi, they have the Leona, they have the Xerath, they have the Gnar. So he's just trying to play it really safe, especially after what he saw happen to Arcsec in there in the mid lane.
yeah, that's exactly what you have to do. You need to be just play safe when you're in the lane, but then the team as a whole is what needs to be aggressive. As there goes Diamond onto Kalento.
It's just going to be a little bit of a damage trade there. Oh, nice Q there. Boomerang from Talento landing onto Diamond. As it seems right now, it seems like Diamond is going to be the one that they need to be focusing on. They're focusing a lot onto Trans, they're focusing a lot onto Arcsecond. But Diamond is just bullying Talento mercilessly. Granted, he is able to trade a bit of damage back, but the fact that he started with the Phage means he's not going to be tanky enough to survive a potential heavy engage from that Hecarim. There goes the culling out onto Trans, and he's just going to be forced to back off under tower. Xerath, Vi, and Leona sitting here in the backside here. Denial Boy going to be engaged on by Altereth and Yalahal. There goes the ultimate onto Trans. He's going to be eating a... He gets the ultimate from Xerath, and he does go down. Trans finally going down for the first time in this game. There goes the Onslaught of Shadows coming out of Diamond, but that's not where he wants to be. There's too many members there that he doesn't want to fight. Denial Boy going to be chased down under behind this tower. And he is going to be going down. Gnar picking up the kill there. And Millennium going to be going on a killing spree here, forcing he is going to pop his barrier, though, to survive the Ignite from Hecarim. But Hecarim is going to go down as well. That's 3 members down from DreamHack. Arcsecond, the only one alive. He wasn't there for that fight. He was only able to throw down the Ziggs ultimate, so... Unfortunate there for DreamHack, losing that fight pretty decisively.
Yeah, and that is primarily the numbers game coming out right there. Typically, you would have your support to try and offer some severe disengage from a collapse like that, but without having that, extra champion there, they were just collapsed upon by the side of legendary threats, and they picked up 3 kills. They are going to be looking for this dragon, but with Altereth being so low, it does look like Arcsecond's going to be able to chase him off, if not get a kill, and he does get the kill with that satchel charge. And now this could actually end up getting a dragon going over to DreamHack instead, just based on the the back timings.
It definitely should be an uncontested dragon here in favor of DreamHack, and that is going to be the dragon going down. However, legendary threats are going to have the dragon timer due to Lucian using the blue trinket there. Make sure he got vision on it right as it died, so they do have an inkling as to when it's going to be up.
Yeah, just a little unfortunate. I mean, it was primarily because legendary threats prioritized getting that bottom tower to prevent Trans from having that zone of safety to sit underneath while in this bottom lane. If they had just gone immediately for the dragon after that fight, they would have been theirs, but they instead opted to take that objective, which I feel is a perfectly fine trade. Picking up a tower for a level 1 dragon is... I mean, not really many people are going to complain about that, unless you're sitting at like 4 or 5, 3 or 4 dragons, at which point trading a tower for giving a team their first dragon is not that great, but...
Oh, in the top lane, we see Diamond and Talento dueling it out. And oh, the Onslaught of Shadows does miss. However, Denial Boy going to be eating an R ultimate as well as a Vi ultimate. He's going to go down. Talento picking up the kill onto Denial Boy there. And now is where the 4v5 really starts to matter. As you can see, team fights heavily going in favor of legendary threats. And that's going to be Arcsecond stunned up by the Zenith Blade as well as the Solar Flare. He is going to be able to get away from the Xerath ultimate. Trans going to be targeted as well. He's going to Valkyrie away to safety. In the top lane, we see Diamond and Talento still fighting it out. Diamond's going to have to be careful here. Talento able to do quite a bit of damage at this point. And all of these fights now are starting to going in favor of legendary threats. As you can see, Trans eating a ton of damage there as well. And it's just a matter of time before that 4v5 just becomes unwinnable if they keep managing to get the kills here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, legendary threats doing a great job of using that numbers advantage. I mean, they're able to send 2 to 3 top, and then the others in the mid lane, and have a numbers advantage, or even in every single fight that starts up. It's going to be so difficult for DreamHack to get a fight in their favor, just because of the fact that legendary threats is able to identify and say, okay, there's 2 people up top, let's send 3 of ours up there. There's 2, and then have a 2-on-2 in the mid lane, and we're perfectly fine with that. So they're just able to really abuse the fact that they have this extra player. They are going to be losing this top tower, as Diamond should be able to pick this up. Also being able to capitalize on mistakes, as we saw in that top lane. Denial Boy.
In the mid lane, we see Millennium getting engaged on. There's the explosive cast coming out of Denial Boy, but not far enough back to send Xerath back towards him. And he's just going to knock him back towards his tower. Xerath's just going to back out of there just fine. One thing to note, actually, is Millennium actually is 3-0-1 right now. Hasn't died yet this game.
And despite how good Arcsecond has been sitting at 3-1-0 himself, he hasn't been able to get the kill onto the Xerath, which is actually kind of surprising. But considering how hard he was really trying to bully him and just out-dueling him early on in the game, just wasn't able to actually secure the kill. One thing to definitely keep an eye on as the game goes forward is going to be those ultimates from Denial Boy. They have been less than stellar this game thus far.
Oh, and Diamond's going to be finding Kalento and Yalahal. He's going to get slowed over and over again. The Onslaught of Shadows comes out. He's going to be sending Yalahal back towards his tower, actually. Are they going to look to dive? No, they're actually just going to disengage there. Good job on Diamond, making sure he got out of there alive, saving the Onslaught of Shadows for when he figured Yalahal would go ahead and use the Ball Breaker.
Yeah, definitely great timing on that ultimate, as now he's going to teleport back in with those home guards, just absolutely wreck this minion wave. So he doesn't miss too much farm or experience. But looking back towards the jungle, we do see the Cinder Hulk coming out of both junglers. Or no, that's not Cinder Hulk. That's
That is Cinder Hulk.
That is? I thought.
Both of those are
right.
Cinder Hulk.
Okay, Cinder Hulk is green. For a second there, I was thinking Cinder Hulk was red. That's Warriors. Red is Devourer or something?
That is Warrior.
What color's Devourer then?
Purple.
Okay, that's. It's not like I do this like all the time or anything.
Of course not.
I don't know, colors are hard. They just released all these chroma packs. That's a lot of colors to try and remember.
Ooh, Kalento and Diamond yet again. This time Kalento seems to be on the losing end, but he is kiting Diamond out pretty well, but he's going to be forced to use his flash. Ignite was used there by Diamond though, so it's one summoner spell for one summoner spell, but I feel like the flash is just a little more important. Denial Boy missing with the body slam onto Threat God.
Yeah, not only a little more important,
face.
but also, a lot longer of a cooldown on the flash as well.
Oh boy. So many members from Legendary Threats ready to stop and engage there from Denial Boy. That was a cough.
Cough that was muted on the stream.
Well, they know you coughed.
And they wouldn't have if you didn't open your mouth. Could have just kept quiet about it, but no. Either way, looking at the items, so we do have Cinder Hulks coming out of both junglers, so Vige can be building purely tank here.
Oh, in the top lane, Diamond gonna be going in with the Onslaught of Shadows onto Kalento. Mega Gnar form is about to be up, and he's gonna get it up, but he's gonna miss the Gnar ultimate. He missed the house, but he does manage to stun Diamond under the tower, and he is gonna go down to Kalento there. In the mid lane, we see Millennium gonna be sent flying away from the satchel charge.
And that's kind of what I've been talking about. Denial Boy, I have not been impressed by his ultimates thus far this game. Definitely something he's going to have to shape up on if they want to be able to win this 4v5. Those Gragas ultimates are so important to just getting the displacement of the enemy team, being able to turn a fight in your favor. It's one of those big game-changing ultimates that you hear a lot of people talk about. And if it's not used to full effect, it's not going to be changing the game, or it'll be changing the game against DreamK.
Ooh, that was a good teleport there by Kalento. Really good timing. Dragon is now live. However, DreamK is looking to retaliate here. Millennium maybe going to be the target. He's the lowest one there and obviously the squishiest. But it looks like it's going to be a relatively uncontested Dragon here in favor of Legendary Threats. That's the Solar Flare zoning out Denial Boy there. The Dragon going over to Legendary Threats.
Ultimate popped there from Millennium for about half a second. Not quite sure what that one was.
To prove a point.
Evidently. Just a hey, we just took Dragon, I'm gonna ult. Show my strength. Asserting his dominance. That's what Millennium was doing there.
Oh, and looks like Yalahal and Millennium gonna be trying to find their blue buff. Nope, not there.
Yep.
Trance got that one.
Yeah, Trance and Diamond just took that one away moments prior. So right now we're sitting at the gold is actually technically in favor of DreamK, despite the fact that they are behind on the
and there's
scoreboard.
the Onslaught of Shadows coming from Hecarim onto Millennium. Millennium going to be forced to flash over the wall. Yalahal gonna be alone here dealing with Diamond and Arc Second eating a ton of damage. He might go down here. Diamond looking to get the kill, but he's not gonna be able to get there in time. Arc Second gonna be finding Threat God. Threat God is trying to get the kill there, but he's not gonna be able to get it. The culling comes out, landing onto Arc Second as well as Denial Boy. Not able to secure the kill on either member though. And so many close deaths on both sides, but no deaths at all.
Yeah, and it was really close. But as I was talking about the gold, it's looking at the scoreboard, it's about a 2,000 gold lead. But when you factor in the fact that 4,000 gold is on Leona and there is no support for the side of DreamHack, that's basically 4,000 gold that they're missing just on not having that 5th player. So you can argue that it's actually a 2,000 gold lead on the side of DreamHack for all intents and purposes of how the teams are actually earning their gold right now. But you still have to remember that it is just 2,000 gold worth of items on the side of legendary threats that DreamHack does not have. So it's, while yeah, DreamHack is technically doing a bit better considering the fact that it's a 4v5, in the grand scheme of things, it is going to steadily shift towards the favor of legendary threats. The longer this game goes on, the more important that 5th member becomes, and the more difficult this game becomes for DreamHack to be able to win.
Trance is just getting all the buffs now, though. Sitting at level 14. It's almost like he's a solo laner. Oh, wait.
Yeah, they're feeding a lot onto Trance, which is pretty surprising to me. I would have thought that a lot more was going to go onto Diamond, but they just kind of stopped focusing on giving so much to Diamond and put everything on, or trying to get everything onto Trance right now, which hasn't been working too well because of the fact that Legendary Threats is putting so much focus on Trance themselves. So a lot of the work that DreamHack is trying to do to get Trance really far ahead has just been getting countered out by Legendary Threats just sending multiple members to wherever Trance is on the map.
I will say this though, the main reason that they are not focusing so much on getting Diamond fed anymore is simply due to the fact that they're itemizing against Diamond on the side of Legendary Threats. And it's almost... Okay, the way Hecarim top lane works is he's almost like a carry early game. Towards the mid game, he's more of that really annoying champion that just kind of is a tanky, not really kind of champion, like a Renekton style champion.
Just watching the Vi go in with the Vault Breaker onto the Grog is just like, punch him in the face and walk away.
This is what you get for being fat. And there's the onslaught of shadows coming out of Hecarim onto Millennium. He's going to be going down instantly. Hecarim picking up the kill there onto him. Arc Second going to be going down to Galento, and that's going to be the double kill going over to Diamond. Diamond going to be going down to Threat God, and it's going to be a double kill going over to Threat God, actually, onto Denial Boy as well. And there's Trance slaying Threat God.
So, all in all, 3 for 3.
Looks like Threat God's not going to have Trance at him.
I know that that's supposed to be a joke, but I don't get it.
They were talking before about if he could beat Trance in a 1v1.
Oh, okay.
Then he would add him.
Okay. I thought it was an attempt at a pun that just went over my head. Okay, glad to know. Glad to know I'm still on point with picking up on puns. Not losing my touch.
Oh, you are.
No, I'm not. Either way, it was a 3 for 3, so not too bad for DreamHack, but not the best of news either, just because of the fact that they were winning fights earlier on in the game, and now that they're going even, and again, the later this game goes, the more difficult it's going to be. But the strange thing there was the fact that it was Trance that was pretty much just completely untouched that entire fight. He was the only one that didn't go down, and once the other 3 members of DreamHack were down, Trance was still pretty much at full health. So
this is mainly due to the fact that they focused so much of their engage and so many of their ultimates on taking out Arc Second, And they figured, oh my, well, it's a Corki, so he's going to be relatively squishy. We're going to be able to take him out once we kill Arc Second, once we kill Diamond. However, what they didn't account for was Millennium dying almost instantly in that fight to Diamond's Hecarim. So what it's going to be is, who do they take out first? Because they have 3 members that they can't leave standing in a long-standing fight. Hecarim does very well in the long engagements. Ziggs does very well in the long engagements. Corki does very well in the long engagements. So it's really just, who do we kill first that is going to give us with the best advantage? In the top lane, we see Diamond and Kalento trading back and forth yet again. But Diamond going to be eating quite a bit of return damage there. He does have a completed Frozen Heart and Trinity Force. So Kalento not going to be doing nearly as much damage. But that new Black Cleaver does very nicely for him, especially against the tanky Hecarim and Gragas. This is going to be, almost the Stolen Dragon. This one going in favor of Legendary Threats. They have 3 dragons now in this game to the 1 of DreamHack.
Yeah, nice try there from Arc Second, just trying to see if he can get that ultimate in to steal the dragon away, but a little bit too early. We're seeing multiple members collapsing onto this top lane. Oh, there's going to be
the Solar Flare landing onto Trance. But that Valkyrie came out just before. Oh, and Yalahal going to be found out here. He's going to have the Onslaught of Shadows used onto him. And Diamond's going to be able to pick up the kill onto Yalahal. And that's going to be Trance engaged on by Alteresh and Kalento. He's going to be dodging out the Xerath attacks, but he's going to be able to get out there just fine. Alteresh taking extremely low here. There's the slow coming out of Deniable. And Diamond picking up the kill with the Rampaging charge on that Hecarim. And that's going to be Trance picking up the kill onto Millennium as well. Kalento no longer in Meganar form, going to be trying to keep this tower alive. But that was a 3 for nothing in favor of DreamHack here, doing very nicely in this 4v5, winning in kills, and actually the gold is starting to really push in their favor, because it's only a 200 gold difference, and they're 1 player down.
Yeah, that was just a little bit of poor positioning from Yellowhal, and great job by DreamHack to capitalize on that fact. Seeing that Vi was slightly caught out there and just going all in onto her, and then of course the damage from Legendary Threats.
Calling right into Denial Boy's back. Red Guy's gonna be happy to pick that up there.
Yeah, the damage of Legendary Threats was just kind of, it was staggered in there. They had Vi was in there first, and then Leona came over, and then Nar came over, but none of that is really their damage. That's all tankiness. And then finally Xerath came in afterwards, but he wasn't able to get into a spot because of where that fight was happening to be able to just lay down the damage that he wanted to. So it was just really well played positioning-wise by DreamHack up until Denial Boy got caught out a bit by Threat God.
Beautiful Ziggs ultimate, making sure that they cleared out that wave, not wanting to get really much of a push on that tower. Surprisingly enough, only 1 tower has gone down in favor of Legendary Threats.
Yeah, that is really surprising. I mean, but it's like I was talking about in the Champion Select, DreamHack just has exceptionally strong wave clear. So they've just been able to not, prevent Legendary Threats from being able to siege up on a tower and take those objectives. We just saw there, they were trying to push mid. A Ziggs ult just comes out, clears out all the minions, and they don't want to be tanking up a tower with all the members of DreamHack in the area. So using that wave clear exceptionally well, preventing these objectives from falling. And keeping a lot of gold out of the pockets of Legendary Threats. Team is kind of split up right now. It's gonna be, we're kind of hitting that stage of the game where Legendary Threats isn't, it seems like they're not terribly confident in their team fighting ability right now. They're really avoiding trying to go in, and they're looking for opportunities to just push down lanes. Whereas right now, DreamHack, they're looking to do the opposite. Like, they're grouping up, they're trying to find fights because they're at their big mid-game power spikes. They have 2 Infinity Edges, and the second and third items coming through on most of their members. So they're kind of just moving around, not so much looking for a fight, but perfectly willing to go in on one, and just trying to make sure the lanes keep clear, don't let legendary threats push up too far themselves, and possibly just look for picks. They're just trying to get rotational picks out of legendary threats, and looks like legendary threats just wants to try and now they're finally starting to group up and maybe look to push in onto one of these towers.
I would say that DreamHack is actually doing a really good job, but they need to not allow them to get that 4th dragon. That'll just put them one step closer to getting a 5th dragon, making the game insurmountably harder.
And it looks like really Legendary Threats is content with just sitting back and waiting for this objective to spawn. They haven't really put too much focus onto any one spot.
Oh, and here comes the teleport coming out of Diamond. He's going to be trying to get Millennium. There's the Onslaught of Shadows. There's the Rampaging Charge, and he does manage to get the kill over to Trance onto Millennium. Good job on DreamHack getting that 1 kill. Now they look to maybe go for the Baron here.
This would still be a very risky Baron. There are still 4 members of Legendary Threats up. Of course, getting that big damage source in the Xerath out is extremely important. That's like a lot of their burst damage. And actually, Lucian is recalling. Looks like they're just clearing up vision for now, as there is a ward there from Legendary Threats. So they're gonna know what's going on. Looks like they are just going to be backing off at this point. It's 34 minutes in, and we're looking at 3-1 on dragons, 5-1 on towers. But the big thing is that gold lead still sitting at about 1,000, which means this game is actually extremely close, especially considering it's a 4v5. Like, the fact that DreamHack has been able to stay pretty even with Legendary Threats this whole time just speaks volumes about their ability as a team, as they are now finally just going to push in onto this tower, maybe?
Yet again. He's going to get stunned by Altar. So much damage going out there. The culling gets stopped. There's the Onslaught of Shadows coming out, but it doesn't kill anyone. Yalahal going to be able to get the kill onto Diamond, and beautiful Ziggs ultimate getting a kill onto the Vi and the Leona. And DreamHack looking to maybe chase on here. Kalento extremely low. Lucian extremely low. Threat God gonna be almost going down. And Millennium taken down extremely low by Trance. But it looks like they're gonna get away just fine. But this is gonna be the 2nd dragon for DreamHack here, denying that 4th dragon away from Legendary Threats.
That was a beautiful Gragas ultimate thrown down in the middle there by Denial Boy as well. It completely split up the team of Legendary Threats and allowed them to just pick the damage onto the Leona and the Vi and just split up the fight, just stopped Threat God and Millennium from being able to put out too much more damage into the team. And of course, that huge Mega Inferno Bomb from Arc Second, blowing up both of those members after they had gotten low. And as you mentioned, the 2nd dragon of the game for DreamHack, just stalling the game out further, though. It's preventing Legendary Threats from getting that big spike of the aspect of the dragon buff. So DreamHack looking very good right now with their team fighting. Their team fighting has just been absolutely stellar, and they have the damage on the sources they want. It's really just kind of been a support Gragas game for the most part, but Diamond has been doing so good at getting the engages that they want, being able to just get in and disrupt the enemy team, which is exactly what their team comp is designed to do. You have the Hecarim and the Gragas and Ziggs, all 3 of which have displacement in their kits. So just really disrupting the flow of what Legendary Threats is trying to do in these team fights, and it's been giving them advantage after advantage now. DreamHack seeing Lucian in the bottom lane, maybe looking to try and take advantage of this. Hecarim just going to be running through the jungle. Finally does catch on to Vi, but backs off immediately. Rest of his team was not close enough to follow up on that one.
Hopefully we do see some sort of fight here. I want to see blood.
Yeah, it looks like Legendary Threats are starting to move their way on up, but as they do, DreamHack just backing off the Baron. it really does kind of feel like Legendary Threats just isn't taking advantage of their 5th member right now. They have an extra player, but their team is just, they don't have the damage really to be able to do it. As
and this is Talento going really hard onto Diamond here in the top lane. He did use the Gnar ultimate. Diamond gonna be fine, not really engaging on here. There's the Onslaught of Shadows. Here comes Trance. He's ready to fight here. There's the Rocket. Wow, he's just gonna completely ignore Diamond as he goes down to almost going down to Yellowholm. But that's gonna be the beautiful Xerath ultimate coming down really quickly, actually. Trance gonna be going now 1 for 1 in favor, in my opinion, of Legendary Threats, simply due to the fact that they got rid of the AD carry from DreamHack, so they're not going to have too much tower pushing potential here.
Not only did they get rid of the AD carry, but the fact, again, with it being a 5 versus 4, any even trade is technically in favor of Legendary Threats because they still have more left on the field afterwards. Oh, they're going to be trying to get this tower, but here comes the teleport from Hecarim. Not going to have those home guards, though. And not going to be able to save the tower either.
Oh, and here comes Diamond. Is he going to get Threat God? He actually does manage to land the charge. But he's not really going to be able to do much here. Denial Boy and Arcsecond coming in from the backside, though. They want Threat God. They don't really care about Yellowhall. And that's going to be Threat God going to be targeted out. Zig's ultimate there used, but Diamond picks it up before it even matters.
That was absolute mind games from Diamond there. He started to back off, which made both Threat God.
And here's the Bold Baron.
Both Threat God and Yellowhell moved back up to maybe consider going in on Diamond, but all he was doing was buying time for Denial Boy and Arcsecond to move their way through the jungle to be able to collapse onto Threat God. It was absolutely great play. They get the Baron on DreamHack. This could be absolutely huge for them, as there is no AD carry on the side of Legendary Threats for another 20 seconds.
Really good on DreamHack to make sure that they picked up that Baron. They got that objective off the map. If they can secure themselves a 3rd dragon here, which is going to be up in 1:30, this will pretty much put them even with Legendary Threats. And there's, I can't reiterate this point enough, they are down a player.
Yeah, just the fact that they are just splitting up after getting the Baron does tell you that they were really just looking to get that objective just to prevent Legendary Threats from getting it. It wasn't like they were like, all right, let's get Baron and then try and push in and take some towers. It was just, let's get Baron just to make sure that they don't. And
oh, that was an R ultimate burn there just to make sure Diamond couldn't get the engage on him. Looks like Talento wasn't too sure where the rest of DreamHack was, so he didn't want to risk going down yet again.
Yeah, he saw what had just happened with them chasing down onto Threat God in a very similar situation, so he just says, nope, not going to deal with that. Just going to throw you into the wall and get myself back to base. So let's see if DreamHack does decide to make anything happen with this Baron buff that they have. It is on all 4 of their members. And now they are starting to group up mid. Oh, here comes Diamond.
Oh, and there is the beautiful Solar Flare landing onto only Diamond, but it looks like Ultramar's going to be singled out here, and Trance going to be picking up the kill there. There's the explosive cast coming out of Denial Boy, forcing a flash out of Threat God. Kalento trying to make something happen here as well. Denial Boy going to be targeted up by Yellowhall and Millennium, but he's going to be able to survive. Yellowhall taking extremely low there. There's the bouncing bomb, taking him down. Here comes the Xerath ultimate. Is he going to get a kill? Kalento does manage to secure the kill onto Denial Boy, and they wanted to get Arcsecond here as well. Threat God may be looking to get him. He is actually going to be able to, but he's going to go down to Arcsecond as well. Millennium trying to stun up Trance, and Trance probably going to be able to get the kill here. He does Zhonya's under tower, and that's going to be Trance picking up the kill onto Millennium as well. But he's in a pretty awkward spot. He doesn't want to be there. Like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
and the Valkyrie over the wall, making sure he gets away from Kalento. Diamond alive. Trance alive. 2 for 4 in favor of DreamHack.
Yeah, and the key to these fights for DreamHack is that Diamond is going in really deep on his own, but he's so tanky with that Mauve Malmorius, the Randuin's Omen, and Frozen Heart that they burn so much onto just him thinking, all right, we've got him caught out, we can, blow up their Hecarim, but he just doesn't get blown up because he is so tanky that so much is used on him there isn't anything left to shut down the carries. I mean, we saw Leona Altares used the Solar Flare and only hit Diamond. Vi went in only on Diamond. Like, there's so many things that were used just on Diamond, and he didn't even die. And it just allowed Arc Second and Trance to run rampant through the team after everything was burned.
At the end of the day, it's really going to depend on whether or not they can take Trance out of these fights, because he's just shredding through their front line. And then their back line is being taken out by Arc Second. Diamond is basically just a sponge for all of their damage.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, he's still not a sponge. He's a sponge that you can't ignore either, because Hecarim does still put out a lot of good damage in these fights. So it's, again, just going back to the picks and ban phase, a great team comp selected by DreamHack for this 4v5 situation. You have damage able to be put on the front line, able to be put on the back line, and two big tanks that can soak up the damage while still dishing out a good amount of their own. So I really like what they've done here, and they're actually in a position now to pick up the victory here. Only 200 gold down again, as the gold lead has just been sitting so close despite them being down a player. It's absolutely phenomenal what we're seeing from them. So they did get that third dragon, which just means there's not going to be any neutral objectives on the board for a couple of minutes until both Baron and Dragon do respawn.
Arc Second's like, I'm just going to throw a bomb here. Gonna throw a bomb there, over there too, and I'm going to hit nothing. He's just zoning them out on his own.
He really is, but it's all just kind of trying to stall out. We do see Diamond is on the fountain, waiting for a teleport. Nope, now he's going to come on out. Thought he was just going to sit there and be like...
He really didn't have anywhere to teleport there.
Yeah, there's not really any wards down for him to jump onto. Nothing, no deep vision from the side of DreamHack.
Oh, Yalahal may be looking to try and get an engage here. Knowing that Diamond isn't there yet, 3 members of DreamHack, we have 5 members of Legendary Threats. Millennium taken down to half HP already, though.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Ziggs is so good at clearing out waves, but they're also so good at poking down the side of Legendary Threats. And right now, Diamond is just charging up the mid lane. He's already got those minions up on that inhibitor tower. Millennium has to go deal with this, and I did not think that we would be seeing DreamHack being the ones trying to put on a split push. And he gets the tower.
Gets the inhibitor tower. He also brought Yalahal up there.
He got the inhibitor tower, he got out, and now he's pushing the top inhibitor tower, whilst 3 members are still sitting here preoccupied with the rest of DreamHack on this inner tower. A
lot of damage going out onto Kalento from Arc Second. Yalahal maybe going to be looking to get an engage onto Trance. Arc Second, there's the Ziggs ultimate taking Threat God to about 15% HP. Trance going to be wailing on this tower. That tower is going to go down. Yet another tower going down in favor of DreamHack. Their 7th tower of the game so far. They do, Legendary Threats have an exposed inhibitor in the mid lane. And if DreamHack can keep up this split push, this Hecarim can just run rampant in the top and mid lane while they run rampant in the bot lane.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Legendary Threats. I mean, DreamHack is just bullying them around and controlling where they go on the map. And it's supposed to be the other way around. When you have an extra player, you're supposed to be the one dictating the pace of the game, dictating where things are happening, but it is all in DreamHack's favor right now, as they're just continuously pushing on. So many people just distracted by Diamond. He is literally just a giant distraction right now, trying to pull as many people as he can to go look at him while the rest of the team pushes this bottom lane. Looks like they are finally going to be backing off.
Baron is live again, by the way. As well as Dragon going to be up in another minute and 20 seconds. DreamHack definitely are going to be looking to take these objectives off the map. And there's a Solar Flare going out onto Trance, but it misses. He was able to recall just in time and picks up a Blade of the Ruined King. This is just going to allow him to shred even harder than he was before. So right now, this is a relatively full build Corki. The only thing he's missing is a Mercurial Scimitar. He has a Infinity Edge, Trinity Force, Blade of the Rune King, Last Whisper, Sork Shoes, and a Quicksilver Sash. So he's just going to be melting through Kalento, melting through Yalahal. And when he gets to a squishy carry, they're going to pop.
Yeah, this is looking very good for DreamHack right now. They are positioning up at Baron, just getting that vision down. Threat God is here, but no one else from his team is. So right now we do have Diamond in the bottom lane. He does have Teleport up, and Arc Second and Denial Boy just going to try and two-man this. Oh, no, here comes Trance to add his damage.
Yeah, it would have been really interesting to see a Ziggs Gragas duo Baron. That would take way too long. Oh, whoa. That was actually really close.
Yes, it was, but...
Oh, and here comes Diamond. Here's gonna throw out the Onslaught of Shadows, trying to get Millennium. Millennium was taken out to have issues, but he did not go down. Trance gonna be caught by the Solar Flare, forced to flash over the wall. There's the Ziggs ultimate as well. He's gonna be eating a culling to the back, and he is gonna go down. Denial Boy gonna be the next target here for Kalento, and he is gonna get slowed. Is he going to go down though? Is the question. He's gonna get slowed yet again, but it looks like he's just gonna be fine. Baroned up minions, making sure that legendary threats can't get too heavy of a push here in the mid lane while Trance is down. Very unfortunate for DreamHack that they lost their AD carry. There's some really aggressive play from them to try and get the kill onto Millennium, but they didn't account for the rest of the team.
Yeah, the other nice thing there was, oh my goodness, Diamond trying to get the back door on.
Look at this horse. This horse is amazing. He gets the inhibitor, and he's gonna get out.
Meanwhile, while this is going on, Yalahal is picking up that 4th dragon, but this could be a tricky situation. He's taking it extremely slowly, and it's actually going to be stolen away. Oh man, Arc Second and Denial Boy saying, thanks for the leash, we'll take it from here. And it's that full tank Vi. I don't like full tank Vi. You need some damage on Vi to be effective, and otherwise you're literally just CC. That's all you can provide is the CC from your ultimate and your Q, and that's not working out. Yalahal at 3, 4, and 9, not having a huge impact on this game. Yeah, he's able to get onto Trance and stop Trance from doing damage, but that's all he's been able to do. I mean, he was on that dragon for so long and only had it down to about a quarter health. Well, and it got stolen away because of it. So if you just have a single damage item, a Trinity Force, Warrior's Enchantment, something, that dragon would have gone down. It would have been legendary threats sitting on 4 instead of DreamHack. But the full tank Vi, not a fan. Definitely not a fan. Oh, we are going to be getting a pause coming out here.
That moment when you realize it's been 50 minutes.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that we're 50 minutes in and it has not fully swung over into the favor of legendary threats is speaking volumes about the skill level of DreamHack and why they're currently undefeated. I mean, this is a point in the game where that numbers advantage should just be absolutely massive for legendary threats, and it just isn't yet. They're not able to win these fights, but if they can just get a full-on team fight, ignore Diamond until the end. Like, that's Diamond. Just don't worry about him. Don't worry about Denial Boy. Only focus on Trance and Arc Second, because yeah, Diamond's gonna put out a decent amount of burst when he first runs in, but after that his damage significantly falls off. Denial Boy doesn't really have any damage on him at all. He's just the big tanky Gragas. He's doing the same thing as Vi with that full damage build, so he's not going to be providing damage. He's just going to be providing CC. If you can just focus everything on taking out those damage sources and try and ignore the Hecarim. Yeah, he's going to get in. He's going to do a lot of damage up front. He's going to put that fear on, but he doesn't have a lot of CC after that. Gragas has his 2 CC abilities, doesn't have much after that. So just survive that little Alpha Strike initiation and try and get the damage.
Master Yi was in this game.
You knew what I meant. Alpha Strike is it's a general term. Doesn't have to just be for Master Yi. Well, yeah,
Initial
it is.
Strike.
No, Alpha Strike is the actual proper term for it.
Oh.
Yes, it is. Yes, it actually is. Look it up.
All right, I'll look it up after this game. 51 minutes in here. I'm really surprised the way DreamHack has been able to do so well.
Oh my goodness.
Man, that was a really aggressive engage by Yalahal. And Xerath not even close enough to use his ultimate. There's the culling coming out as well. A lot of ultimates used there from Legendary Threat, and there's minions pushing in onto their Nexus towers now. They need to be extremely careful here. Yalahal is going to be eating quite a bit of damage from both Ziggs and Corki. There's the Solar Flare being thrown down. Millennium going to be taken very low here. There's the Onslaught of Shadows. Arcsecond going to be able to pick up the kill onto Ultrarush. There's the Explosive Cast knocking Threat God and Kalento away from the tower. Tower finally going down in the top lane in favor of DreamHack here. Ziggs picking that one up, and they're just going to zone out the rest of Legendary Threats. They're going to take that inhibitor. And right now they could potentially push to try and end. A lot of low health bars here though. Threat God, whoa man, taking extremely low there. Shows the damage coming out of Trance and Arcsecond just a little too much for him to deal with at this point. Diamond gonna be eating a bit of damage from Yalahal. There's the Blade of the Rune King thrown out towards him from Corki, but Corki is not gonna be able to secure the kill there onto Vi. And still, this fight is still going on, and they're fighting onto Kalento now. There's Millennium trying to get... Wow. The fights were going on for so long that Yalahal got his ultimate back. Threat God gonna be able to pick up the kill onto Arcsecond. There's the Xerath ultimate doing a nice amount of damage. Diamond taking extremely low here. And there's Corki eating a ton of damage. Is he gonna go down? Beautiful explosive cast, knocking Yalahal right back away from Trance, saving his life.
Again, the thing I'm not liking out of Legendary Threats is they are putting so much focus onto Diamond. There were so many times where they could have targeted other members, like even Threat God was doing it.
Oh boy.
Kalento did it. Nope, Valkyrie just gonna get him away from there. And now Yalahal needs to be careful in a very, very forward position, and here comes Diamond.
Power went down.
Yep, Minion's able to pick that one up, but you know, Threat God was focusing damage onto Diamond while he had other targets available. Kalento was doing the same thing, and they didn't even pop Diamond's Guardian Angel. He is just so tanky. They need to not... if he's the one that's in front, go ahead and attack him. But when you have other targets available, when people are grouped up together and you can hit those carries, you can hit their damage, you need to be focusing on trying to take down those squishier champions, because Diamond is just not dying. With those two inhibitors down, you have to say this is in DreamX's favor right now.
How rude, sir!
I said when last first started, I said I was going to be screwing with those two names all the time, and that's one of the first times I've done it. So you know what? I'm happy with myself. But DreamX, in a really strong position, they're going to have two lanes of super minions pushing in as both of those global objectives are going to be coming up. Oh, there's Diamond going in.
Diamond and Z going in. Beautiful Ziggs ultimate, taking out Arcsecond. Yalahal going to be the next to go down. Arcsecond picking up the double kill there. That's going to be Trance picking up the kill onto
this is going to be
Ultrarush as well. And Threat God going to be fighting Diamond here. You're not going to be able to get the kill there, buddy. Here comes Trance throwing down the Quicksilver Sash, getting the extra movement speed, and that's Diamond picking up the kill onto Threat God. This is wow. This is going to be the game.
DreamX
4v5.
Outlasting in a 4v5. Going to be picking up those Nexus towers, and Nexus will be the next focus here. Kalento, you're just not going to be able to hold this off, and it will be DreamX Gaming picking up the victory, moving to a 6-0 record on the season. The second team to do so. The second team to do so in 4v5 fashion, as Warriors Anonymous doing the same thing earlier this week. Actually, sorry, the third game to go to 6-0, or third team to go 6-0, as Inertia did so with that first forfeit tonight. But what a match from DreamX. 55 minutes, able to live and survive for 55 minutes while down a player and picking up the victory. That is going to drop Legendary Threats down to 4-2 on the season, which means DreamX is just one game away from clinching that #1 seed out of Division A. So congratulations to DreamX.